to share with you 2 home remedies that you can try at home in light of this COVID-19 crisis that we are experiencing. One will be a natural antibiotic high in vitamin C if you do feel symptoms like flu, cough or sneezing or runny nose or even slight temperature. But please remember that if you do feel unwell, you should seek medical advice. The second thing I'll be showing you is how to make a natural hand sanitizer at home. So when you go out to the supermarket or anywhere, you can take your hand sanitizer with you. Make sure you keep your hands sanitized. If you cannot keep washing it at all times. Now we all know the New Start principle. It is very important right now to have good nutrition, to exercise, to drink adequate amount of water, to get proper sunlight, which is going to boost your vitamin D levels and keep your immune system up. Be temperate in all things. Get fresh air. Open up your windows and get fresh air circulating in your home. Rest. 8 hours sleep at night is also important to build your immune system, keep you from being irritable and restless throughout the day. Trust in God. Trust in God with all your heart and lean out unto your own understanding, because fear weakens the immune system. Even when you eat and you're fearful, your body is not able to absorb the nutrition. So, without further ado, let us get into our remedies. First, we will be using a head of garlic. This is what a head of garlic looks like. But I've already crushed and peeled and placed here. 2 lemons, which we have washed, scrubbed, soaked in baking soda and water, and cut. Skin, seeds, everything. We have 2 inches of ginger, which has already been cut. We have olive oil, natural, virgin olive oil. If you have, you can use. If you don't have, you don't actually have to add olive oil, but it makes it for a more pleasant taste. So we will add some to water, which you also need to help with your blending process. So let us make our natural antibiotic before we get on to our second remedy. So we add our garlic to the blender. We add our lemons to the blender. Our ginger is next. Oops. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Like I said, this is not compulsory. Some folks will also add raw honey. If you want, you can add raw honey. There's nothing wrong with that. And we add some water to help with the blending. We blend it all together until it is actually smooth like a paste. So here we have it all blended. This is what it should look like a nice paste. So you can store it in the refrigerator and take 1 tablespoon after meals 3 times a day if you have symptoms like flu. Okay, and as I said, you can add honey if you like. Glass bottle, which is where I will be storing mine, in the refrigerator. Next, I'm going to show you how to make hand sanitizer. First ingredient you need is your alcohol. 70% and above is best. I am using 70% isopropyl rubbing alcohol. I've got 1 cup here. I'm also using aloe vera, which is also good for the skin and helps to prevent the dryness from the alcohol. And so, I will be using half a cup of aloe vera, which I've already peeled and placed in my cup. These are the 2 main ingredients that you need to actually use. However, if you have hydrogen peroxide, I'll be adding 1 tablespoon, and I'll be also adding 1 teaspoon of vegetable glycerine. It is not optional. If you don't have these ingredients, don't worry. I will also be adding peppermint oil, oil of oregano, tea tree oil, and lavender oil. These oils are a combination of both antiviral and antibacterial, and hence why I am adding it to my hand sanitizer, but they are not necessary. If you don't have them, doesn't mean that you cannot make your hand sanitizer. So let us go. In our blender, we will place our aloe, our alcohol, one tablespoon of hydrogen peroxide, one teaspoon of vegetable glycerine. And this is mainly to keep it soft and smooth and protect your skin. Hence why we are using vegetable glycerine, so that your skin doesn't dry out with the alcohol. We also add 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drops of oil of oregano, 10 drops of tea tree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 drops of peppermint oil, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. And lavender oil. You can add more of the oils if you so desire. It's your personal choice. We blend it all together. And now here we have it, our natural hand sanitizer. And we can take it and fill it in any bottle that you have available for your hand sanitizer. So when you're going out, take your hand sanitizer with you. Make sure you sanitize your hands when you cannot wash them. And it is a good practice to also wash your hand sanitizer bottle that you go out with, because whatever you touch, it will get on the outside of your bottle as well. So you do that, and there you go. Our natural antibiotic and our natural hand sanitizer. There you go, my hands are all sanitized and clean. Now, my dearly beloved brethren, remain in good health, as God expects us to do our part, and He will take care of the rest. Bye.
Hi, welcome. Today it's my privilege to be able to show you, to demonstrate for you 2 natural remedies. And the 2 that I've chosen is remedies that you can use, especially if you're having any difficulties with the ear canal. So it has to do with, for example, normally children come home, they're complaining of earache. Also, this we all know that the ear, nose, and throat is connected. So if you're having throat problem, these are remedies that you can also use for throat ache. It is an ear drop I will demonstrate, and I will also demonstrate for you an onion poultice compress. So let's get started. For number 1, which I'm going to demonstrate for you first, the ear drop. What you will be needing is garlic. Right now you're seeing I have like a half of this cup of garlic. I'm just going to do a little portion so that you can have an idea what to do. If this is a half of a cup of garlic, then you will need a whole cup of olive oil. So the recipe is for 1 cup of garlic, you will need 2 cups of olive oil. Okay, so what we will do, you need also a dark glass bottle. So you will make sure your bottle, I'm reusing a bottle. You see, it's one of my vitamin bottles. They usually provide it already with proper glass, and the color is what I need. So you make sure that your bottle is rinsed properly. Wash it. You can also use hot water to sterilize it so that you have a good clean bottle. And then what you will do, you will get your garlic. You put your garlic in there, and then you will add your olive oil. As I said, this represents the whole cup because that was half, and you add your olive oil, and then you will close your bottle. And this bottle, what you need to do, you will place this bottle in an area where you will be able to see it, right? You need to see it every morning as you wake up, because what you need to do, you need to keep this bottle in that area where you are able to see it so that you can shake it for 7 days. So all you will do, day 1 you shake, you put it back in that area. Day 2 you will shake again, and it's placed back in that area. And day 3, and you go like that for the entire 7 days. As you're finished, what you're going to do is, since your garlic is that big, usually it settles to the bottom. So you're going to throw out all of the infused garlic oil. You're going to throw it out into the container, into a clean, dry container, of course. And then the scent will hit you right away. The garlic scent is strong. And now you have your infused garlic oil. This is what you're going to use for your ear drop. So you will need a dropper, which is important because you need, if you're going to be dropping oil in the ears, you need to be able to see how much you're dropping. So you need your glass bottle with a dropper, and then you will throw your oil into that bottle. I'm not going to be doing that right now. And you will then close your bottle and seal it. So this is the batch that you will be using. You keep it out. Okay, so you will be using this stays out, because it's always best to have warm oil if you're going to apply it into the ear. What I do with my excess, because I always have excess when I make this recipe, I throw it all back without the garlic pieces. You have to make sure to throw out your garlic pieces, but just the pure oil. You can throw it back into the dark container. You close the container, and you can put this in the fridge. Okay, so this goes into the fridge. One last thing that I do with my oil that I'm going to use, and I usually only do it with the batch that I'm going to be using, is I add tea tree oil. So this is a 1 ounce bottle. So the amount of tea tree oil that I usually add to a 1 ounce, because I want to make a 1% dilution, I add 6 drops of the tea tree oil directly into this mixture, right? So for the 1 ounce, I add 6 drops, and that will be it. And then I usually close back my bottle, and I will shake it, and there is where you will have your mixture for your eardrop. Okay, so this is the conclusion of our eardrop. But I would like to let you know, because all the ingredients that we have been using, you can see the olive oil, you can see the garlic, the tea tree, they're all antifungal, antiseptic, antibacterial. So any of these complaints that you might have in the ear, throat and nose area, it is very good to help with that. So I am going to show a little demonstration on my daughter and how I apply this drops to her, because this is something that I have been using with her from since she was a baby, and it always does the trick. I use it for myself and also for my husband, and at times also what I do is I rub it behind her ear and I rub it on her throat. It can also be applied to the chest, but it depends on how much you can tolerate the scent of garlic, of course. But it really does a nice, it gives you a good relief to whatever ailment it is that is affecting. Okay, so let's go over to my daughter and I will show you how to do the drops into the ear. Okay, so Kiana, can you turn so that I can demonstrate how the drops are applied? So you see Kiana is turning. She's so accustomed to this. So what I do, I put my hands there, and it's 1 drop, and then I make a nice circular movement there, and in the back I drop also 1 drop, and then I usually anoint that area there. Okay, I'm gonna demonstrate in the other ear, but okay, so turn again and both. Okay. Yeah, so we demonstrated that ear, so now yep, that's a drop, and then 1 to the back. Well, it's 2, but that's okay. And then you do the rub, and that's it. Usually she stays a little to the side, because if she turns around right away, it leaks out, but not all of it will leak out. And she wants me to demonstrate how I do it. Apply it to the throat area. So I do it to the side, both sides. And in this area, you try not to apply much pressure. Of course, it's not necessary, absolutely not necessary. And voila! Okay, so for our second natural remedy is the onion ear poultice. For that, you will need a cheesecloth, a piece of cheesecloth. I'm a practical kind of girl. If you do not have a cheesecloth and you have a cotton t-shirt that is old, just rip off a part of it, cut it up, make sure that you have it, because you can apply different types of poultices and you can always use those pieces for that purpose. So if you do not have a cheesecloth, no worries, get a nice cotton or linen piece of cloth, and then you will be able to do exactly what I'm doing here. So what I've done is I've placed the onion in my steaming pot here, and as you can see, the onion is steamed and it's nice and hot, which is supposed to be, but you don't want it to be dripping. See, it's not really drippy. If you do not have a steaming pot, I must tell you, it's possible to apply the double boiler method to be able to do this. So that means you hot up some water in a pot, and if you have a glass container, you just rest the glass container in the water, and then your onion is also going to become nice and warm like this one is right now. Okay, so what you're doing, you're wrapping your onion. I must warn you, the onion stains, so your cloth will be stained, but that's just part of it. And usually with the results you're getting, you're not too worried about the stained cloth because your child or your earache is gone, so you're happy with the results. So I'm going to go over to Kiana and show you how I apply this warm ear poultice for earache. Okay. So I'm here by Kiana. Kiana, yes, we're going to apply the warm ear poultice. So can you turn? Yes. And Kiana usually tells me if my poultice is too warm, and that is one thing that you have to make sure that the person you're applying it to, ask them. So just going to put it over the ear. Is it too hot? Okay, if it's too hot, that's why you have your extra cloth. What I usually do is I cover the ear, and then I put it over like this, and then you need to have the extra part to cover that, but you want to conceal the heat right over the ear. And as the onion cool down, that extra piece that I placed between her ear and the onion, you can always remove it because you want it to be nice and warm. And if it's too hot still, you add extra. You're making sure that it stays over the ear and that she is nice and comfortable. And this is usually Kiana's favorite remedy, natural remedy for earache. So she usually comes home, if she has any earache or throat ache, she will let me know. And these are the two natural remedies that we apply. Always keep in mind that natural remedies work the best when we live in harmony with the health laws. So my advice for you is always to align your daily living with the health laws so that these natural remedies can be beneficial to you. May we all remember that God loves us and that He created all these things for our benefit. Bye.